Not the Chuddle.
Chuddle. Surprise.
I have a real soft spot for evil.
Blood flying everywhere.
For good.
I'm a big boy who doesn't get scared.
Out of the mist and into the fog, it's Chuddle the Pod.
Salutations, demonic club members, and welcome to a brand new meeting of the Chuddle the Pod Horror Movie Club. Tonight, we gather to discuss 1985's Demons.
Whoa!
My name's Brian. I'm joined by my beautiful co-occupants of the podcast, Sem
What's up?
and Ross.
Oh, hey.
Thanks for joining me for another episode, Chuddlemen. How are you guys doing?
Good. I'm excited about this episode. I mean, we're gonna get into it, but I got some movie-wise, nostalgic-wise, Chuddle-wise, demon hits on a completely different level. So I've been itching for this one.
I'm kicking myself for not saying suppa because we're returning to Italy for this one.
Yeah, it's true. Here, hold on. The other part. Hey, Sam.
Suppa.
There we go.
Thank you.
There we go. Good. I'm glad you got it in. Before we get into things for tonight, we like to let you know we will keep it spoiler free up top and let you know when the spoilers drop.
Mm-hmm.
And last but certainly not least, we have a Patreon and we have to shout out our beautiful Coven of Witches. Your sacrifice gives us life and we thank your beautiful souls. Speaking of beautiful souls, we are brewing up a witch's name as we speak. So look out for something coming there, but we very much so appreciate it. And we got some special stuff coming. What does the Coven membership get you besides a witch's name? Well, that's just one of the fun things. But I mean, there's a billion plus episodes of
That's
extra
true.
content.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
you can see our faces. All of our
Is it still only 1 billion now? I thought it was 2.
it might be.
Yeah.
I lose count at this point, but I'll pull
It
up the
grows
tracker.
exponentially.
Exactly. It's compounding. It's actually going to probably be a problem at some point, but we're just letting it grow.
Ooh,
Right.
it's like when we covered, which I guess now is a Patreon exclusive episode, the SCP Foundation, where it's the cake that keeps on multiplying forever, and people
Unless
have to keep on
someone
eats it.
Exactly.
It's exactly like that, but episode.
So if you don't
Our
join
back
the
catalog-
Coven and listen to all those episodes,
everyone's going to die.
They won't die. People need to join and listen to the episodes.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
episodes don't get listened to, they exponentially grow.
yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Our back catalog of episodes are in SCP, if you didn't know. So
true.
join up to the Patreon 369. All those tiers are so fine and get you some good stuff over there as well. All club members are now present and accounted for, so let's go ahead and open up the goo book and officially begin tonight's meeting.
Give me that goo. Oh, yeah.
Hey, thanks a lot, Sergio.
Let's do some lines.
Hey, thanks a lot, Sam. Our logline for tonight, a group of random people are invited to a screening of a mysterious movie, only to find themselves trapped in the theater with ravenous demone.
Oh,
Demons.
that's
First off,
Italian.
Italian
That's
king of
that
demone.
Italian.
Oh, the demone.
It means fear.
I think,
In
How do you feel about that logline? Good in Italian. Demone
Italian.
means fear in Italian.
I think it's pretty decent. It's a pretty decent line.
Yeah, gets the job done.
Yeah.
It'll take you there. It'll get you good.
Mhm.
It'll get you wet. Taglines. They will make cemeteries their cathedrals, and the cities will be your tombs.
I
Which
love
is
that
kinda funny.
tagline.
That's a tagline. That's a good one. That's like the movie within the movie says that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I like it just because it's like, man, I think sometimes with some of the things they have on posters, things like that, like it's a little either too on the nose, but like this one is so ominous that like having the poster, if you've ever seen the poster art for Demons, and then having that on the side of it is like, oh, like,
Oh.
I don't know. This is one of the first ones in the movie, like give,
It's the right stuff, basically, is what you're saying. You're
it's
like,
giving
I
me
like
the right
that.
stuff. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
beautiful. Well, how about this other log or tagline for you? Their evil becomes an orgy of bloodshed.
Also
It's
good.
a bit much.
Not as good as
Two of them. I like that there's just these two here, and I think that they're both pretty good. I mean, an Orgy of Bloodshed, it is a pretty bloody, gooey movie.
It is, yeah. It's
like,
violent.
Very gooey.
Yeah, and their evil does become an orgy of bloodshed. So I think it hits it on the nose pretty well there.
Yeah.
But the first one feels so ominous and like there's something to it. There's doom. Who made it? Who made it?
Who made it? Who made
Who
it?
made it?
Dun, dun.
Directed by Lamberto Bava. With writing credits, so original story by Giordano Sacchetti. With screenplay, there's 4 people credited. Argento's credited, Bava, Sacchetti, and Ferrini for screenplay. So I have no idea who did what for sure, because IMDb just throws a lot of people into something sometimes.
I'm just picturing all 4 of them in some like Italian villa, chain smoking cigarettes, and just sitting there and just writing,
shouting at each other, writing,
just yelling
furiously and yelling,
screaming at each other while making the script. That's probably 100% inaccurate, but that's what's in my head.
And they actually dubbed over their own selves.
And they dubbed over their
to each other.
voice.
And then there's gonna be some punks that come in. No, we don't need to
What are you
introduce
talking
new
about,
characters.
punk? We don't need the goddamn punks,
Yes.
Bava.
We need at least 3 people to do cocaine in this movie.
I have an
Coke
idea for a nipple and a razor blade.
I really
I
want to
need these
hold the
punks.
shot.
A cast. Okay, I'm just going to run through a bunch of people. Urbano Barberini, Natasha as George, Natasha Hovey as Cheryl, Carl Zenny as Kin, Fiora Argento as Hannah, Paola Coso as Kathy. Let's go Fabiola Toledo as Carmen. Let's get down to Goretta as Rosemary, and Bobby Rhodes as Tony, and we got Bettina Ciampolini. That's Nina. That's our nipple girl. A lot of people in this one. It's a big cast.
It's a lot.
A lot of people thrown in here. So those are some of the big guys, and we'll run through other cast members and stuff once we get into the breakdown of this here. I don't necessarily. I mean, Bobby Rhodes comes back for Demons 2.
Yes, he does.
Say that
Totally
much.
does.
They
As
loved
a
him so much, they're like, let's bring him
fitness
back as a
guru.
fitness guru. It's a different role, but yes, he
Oh,
was
yeah.
back.
It's so good. It's
Different
just
movie.
So good.
Yes.
Even though they try
Wild.
and hit the same, whatever.
It's a different movie with the same beats, and it's wild. It's wild
Yeah.
what's trying to happen there. Like, remember Demons? Well, this is the second one.
Yes.
It's a little different. But you liked Bobby Rhodes. He's back. So like I said, big cast because we got a lot of people going on in here. But let's go over and jump into this little section, this little ditty, this little area that we have for a little podcast over here.
Oh.
It's time for the gory.
Fatality.
Basically, on a scale of 1 to 10, Psycho the Sadness, how gory is this film? We add up consistency and intensity for our total score.
Consistency, I'm going to give like a 4 because there's just like,
Okay.
I don't know, 20 minutes at the beginning where there's not anything.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe
Sure.
25. For intensity, I kind of want to go 5, but I feel like that's just a little too high.
I gave it a 4.5.
4.5 works.
I had it at 4.5 as well. I think like it's not a full-fledged 5. It's very close. I mean, there are some insane gore things.
a lot
that
of gore,
happen
yeah.
In this, a lot of gore in this movie. A lot of
And
creative.
gross.
It's weird though because it's like it's its own kind of because like the goo in this is psychedelic colored. And then I feel like the goo gore meshes together. So like I don't know if it's I've got
You
gore
don't know where
blinders
the
on.
goo ends and the gore begins.
And the gore begins, and I mean I love that. I absolutely love that about this movie. But it is a I think 4 or 5 because it's not as extreme. I think because the goo's in there, it sounds weird. It's a gore buffer. So like certain things that I feel would have been way more atrocious if done without like green or blue spittle everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's still an intense movie.
8.5. Do you guys agree with the 4 for the
Sure.
Yeah.
consistency?
I think 8.5. Yeah, I think 8.5.
I think that's pretty good because that's a very high score, but it's not like the goriest thing
Ludicrous.
ever. But it's still
Yeah.
fucking gory, man.
Who is the horror
All right, let's go ahead and figure out the answer to a few questions here, starting with what kind of subgenre does it belong to?
Satanic
like
panic.
possessed.
Possession. Honestly, I would do infection movies, like because this is like a demonic infection. You know what I mean?
Horror comedy.
Gorehounds.
It's very
Horror
funny.
comedy. Yes, there are some really funny parts. If you are a gorehound, this is for sure a good
If you
one.
appreciate good like practical effects.
Definitely. I agree with that. How do you think we should, how should this be watched? I think we all know the answer to this one. Loud, schlocky, in a theater full of people, preferably with the band Goblin playing.
Yes.
Live.
Absolutely. This is a great one that like I mean I would say a party scenario, because I think just by the premise of this movie and how this movie is that like I have played this in a room full of people and eventually everybody was sitting down and watching the movie. You know what I mean? Where it's like I think everybody kind of gets drawn into it, so you could have it in a party vibe, but most people will be watching. I mean, like
party,
it's just so.
I think with people is the best, because I've watched it by myself or, you know, with Goblin playing to it, and just the atmosphere with people, everybody else laughing, it just makes it so much more fun.
Is it for beginners?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say yes. I think this is a good one for beginners. It going back to the gore type stuff is that it is an insanely gory movie, but because it is demonic infestation and because they use such psychedelic, authentically Italian blood and goo in this,
from real Italians.
From real Italians. No, but it's not hyper realistic, as in like this is fucking outlandish gore. Like it's not as crazy as like Tokyo Gore Police, but it is on a level of like, it's intense, but I feel like someone who's just getting into horror, this would be a really good splatterfest movie for them to see.
I'm going to disagree. I don't think it is for beginners. I think just because of that aspect, like a beginner might find it too goofy or too stupid or not horror enough and might just laugh at it in not the right way. So I don't, it depends
understand
on
the subgenre.
Yeah, it depends on the person, but like if I'm really trying to get someone into a horror movie, I wouldn't think this is a good beginner one.
Yeah. I think you would need to respect. For me, I'd be like, you need to have seen Evil Dead, the Evil Dead.
Right, this comes with caveats.
Nightmare on Elm Street 4 before you see this.
Like I think there's some that come before it. This is like this is a good next
middle
step
road
for a beginner. Once they're moving on from something like that. And I don't think anything needs to be known before going in. It's just it's a wild, fun ride.
I was gonna say maybe just the dubbing, like that might be confusing for people.
Just to know what Giallo is.
Yeah,
with Giallo.
Where even though they filmed it in English, you're still going to get it dubbed.
Yes, their lips are moving in English and are oddly in line with what's going on. But it is also done.
And also often
the Giallo way.
Yes,
this one
is
pretty, which is so funny to me that it's
like somewhere in sync. It's like they're trying.
Italians just love their dubbed everything, so it's just like you don't have to do it.
They just didn't record sound, right? I thought they just didn't have sound stages or record sound and did everything after.
Well, it's okay. I don't want to go too crazy deep into it, but during World War II, the government in Italy would take every piece of media and dub it, as in everything, no matter what. So for a very large span of time, everything was dubbed. So then after the war, they just preferred to have dubbed stuff. So like even if it was recorded normally, the broadcasters would still dub over it. So it became like a visual, like an auditory preference for Italians. So it was like they filmed everything,
and it had a little off. This is all this in sync talking is not. And again,
me. That's a very, very Cliff Notes version of that. But yes, like it's more of like a stylistic choice than a functionality choice.
There you have it. Straight from the Roos's mouth. into your ears. Let's go over to listen at our windows because I hear a fapping at the door, a fapping at the window, a fapper outside. Shoo him away, but not before he gives us a words of warning. What does the fapper have to say? That's the Mothman, our harbinger of doom.
Whole lot of puke. There is a whole lot of puke in this. There is foam in this. There is just like pukey foam
I guess
bile.
that's puke.
You didn't notice
There-
it, Brian? I was like, oh, well, not for metaphobes.
Yeah.
Like, just all like the blurbling like goo that they spit up.
What else is vomit but blurbling goo that you spit up? Oh,
It's
no, not
so,
out their
as
mouth,
Ross-
like straight up, like showering.
I don't remember.
Like
Yeah.
straight vomit onto people.
Well, what do you
Pussy
know?
cake style.
I don't know. I mean, like, there's one or two really weird fingernails.
It's just really gooey and
it's just
gross. It's gross. But like
Yes.
fun gross. I like it.
Totally.
Sam likes it, so we're good to go. Let's jump over into this place.
I only
Nope.
want your face.
Spoiler zone.
Skip the whole movie.
Starting off with IMDb behind the scenes, there wasn't a lot for it, so I just threw them all pretty much up top.
Cool.
Not anything, and then we'll just go through the movie as normal. The building used for the exteriors at the Metropole Theater still stands in Berlin. It's a club called Goya that's been host to several horror conventions thanks to its appearance in this film.
Fun.
That's cool.
In Germany, this was released as a sequel, essentially Demon 2, to the second film, which was released as the first part.
What?
What?
According to IMDb, in Germany,
Yes.
Demons 2 came out as Demons 1, and Demons 1 came out as Demons 2.
Oh, you know what I have to do now is that I have to do a German viewing of these and just watch 2 and then 1 and see if that makes any sense.
I mean, it wouldn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what order you watch them in, really.
No, yeah, it doesn't really seem like it.
Mhm.
It seems like Demons OG 1 to 2 would make the
Make
most
more
sense
sense,
because it
'cause isn't
seems like the
this
theater is the epicenter of the outbreak.
Yeah, this has happened in the reality of 2. So,
I don't know. Lamberto Bava cites this as his personal favorite of the films he has directed. Citation missing. I don't know where that actual
There's
citation
a lot
comes
of
from.
context missing.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I would be proud of
Yeah, why
this.
not? In the lobby of the theater, there's poster for Argento's 72 film Four Flies on Gray Velvet. Other posters include the 1980 concert film No Nukes, 1927's Metropolis. There's an AC/DC poster, possibly for the 1980 documentary Let There Be Rock. There's a bunch of
That's
posters
fun.
and shit I noticed within the whole scene. Fun stuff. The building that serves for the exterior shots of the Cinema Metropole was in fact the Club Metropole at the time of the shooting. The title logo on the invitation and the name logo on the building were not designed for the movie. It was the actual one of this club.
That's incredibly cool that they let them use the logo. Just be like, hey, we're doing this movie. We don't want to actually, can we just use yours?
Can we just use your shit? Yeah, why not?
We just, yeah, sure. why
yes.
not?
In the movie within a movie, the tomb of Nostradamus was opened and the demonic mask was taken out of it.
Mhm.
Nostradamus's actual grave did get moved after 1789, and there was a story that was spread widely that when his tomb was opened during the French Revolution, his corpse was wearing a medallion with the exact date of his disinterment, almost 200 years after his death. The grave robbers were supposedly cursed and immediately shot. Historians dispute the veracity of this story, but it clearly inspired the filmmakers.
Ooh,
Did it?
It did.
And the scene where the cocaine is dropped inside the car and where the characters are picking it back up has been quite a subject of controversy, which led to the scene being censored almost all over the world.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so doing cocaine, totally fine in cinema. Scraping
Dropping
up,
your cocaine.
dropping your cocaine as a party
Big-
foul.
That's a big,
all
big
over
party
a
foul.
car and slowly having to use a razor blade was just a bridge too far for most
I
guys.
thought you were going to say that scene was like inspired by a night
real
Dario
event that happened
Argento had.
Argento.
Dario Argento, Bava, everyone that we said in the writers' room
They were
earlier.
arguing in a car about the movie, and then they spilled their cocaine.
They are the punks.
It was with
That's what they looked
Mario
like.
Bava, though, his dad.
Yes.
There you go.
He's like, let me tell you a story my dad had about your dad and I. One time we dropped coke all over the car and had to scrape it up with a razor blade. Let's put it in the movie.
What movie? I don't know. What are you working on right now?
No.
Demons?
All right, we're
Yeah,
getting these
that's perfect.
perfect.
Throw it into Demons.
Doing cocaine, right?
What's our history with this one here? I mean, I'll start it off. Mine pretty much started with, I think when we first jumped into like Giallos and Argento and stuff like that, this was when I picked up along the way and just watched. I was like, whoa, that was a wild ride. And then when we saw the opportunity for the Goblin show thing up in New York, and when you guys came up for that and we saw it, and it obviously elevated everything to a much greater sense. But it's only within the past year or two that I've discovered this movie. So
Same
not that
for me.
big of a history.
I had not seen it even when I got into Giallos, because this isn't, this is just Italian. It's not really a Giallo story. But so I hadn't watched this one. And then when Goblin was going on tour and playing to this, that was when I was like, oh, I should see it first, because we were all coming up to celebrate our 2-year anniversary, which this has fallen right around our 3. Doing this as a little fun episode for that. So happy three guys.
Hey,
happy 3 years.
3.
A little more
years.
and some change. But yeah, then had the experience going to see it. The horror bandwagon met up with us. That was when we met them in real life.
Yeah.
And had
that was fun watching.
Such a good time.
Sam you got a live reaction. You got to watch a live reaction video.
I finally.
That's why Sam has been spoiled ever since and just wants the
Exactly.
reactions constantly.
Yeah.
He got to experience it in person. Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, and that's where Claudio Fragasso said, before they played Tenebrae, he said something, and then he said, means fear in Italian. And then started playing. So now, we made that means fear in Italian joke. We have no idea.
Also, what you're neglecting to say is that he had a visor sunglasses on that had lettering,
Like LED
going
lights.
LED lettering going
Customizable.
across them while he's on his synth.
It's
What
amazing.
what a fucking thing to behold. So mine is different than your guys. I had seen this, and I had seen this a bunch. But what's funny is that I actually saw this before getting into Italian slashers and
Sure, that
genres.
makes sense.
So I had seen this on a friend's copy of like a VHS. Like it was like the first time watching this was like definitely somewhat, it was like a bootleg. And then it was just such an insane splatterfest.
Yeah.
That I was like, I immediately got into like Demons 2, which was so funny because I either could have gone down like the Giallo route, but I immediately went for like, was it City of the Living Dead?
Like
all
Fulci
the
stuff.
Fulci and like all of just the crazy ass, just like zombie movies. After this was like, I need more of this weird gore. Yeah. And then I hadn't watched it in a minute past that, but I've always had it on DVD or like something like that. It's always been in my collection, but not in heavy rotation. And then rewatching it with you guys. Same thing. It's a nostalgia kick, like being able to go up to New York and see this live completely. Like I already love this movie. Spoiler alert. But now I fucking really love this movie.
Nice.
Fantastic. And with that, let's go ahead and jump into Demone.
Oh no.
Spooky.
It's the money.
It's Demone.
Demone.
It's Demone.
Demone. Demone.
The film begins with a young college student, Cheryl, traveling on the subway for a while some sweet goblin music's playing. So we're just setting the mood for a little bit here while this is going on, which eventually leads to her arriving at her station, and there's a mysterious masked man scares Cheryl away while Goblin again starts to play.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this mask almost looks like it's embedded kind of in
like
this guy's
melted into his
face.
It's
Yeah,
like,
like
it's like
Skin grew around
the
it.
Phantom of the Opera.
Family
like,
Opera meets like Cronenberg. Like it's fused into his skull, which I also like the fact that no one else is even giving a shit about this dude. Like this guy sticks out like a sore thumb, literally has like something tack welded to his face, and no one is just like, oh, just another Wednesday.
Well, at this point, she, for some reason, is just alone in this giant ass thing with this creepy dude. And she runs away. She's scared. She's startled.
As she
and,
should.
she kind of, I mean, yeah, I would be too. But we do, she goes up an escalator or something, thinks she gets away, and he pops out in front of her. But we soon learn he's just handing out free invitations to a movie screening at a recently renovated theater, the Metropole. In Berlin is where we are. And Cheryl takes a ticket. She takes an extra one for her friend, meets up with her friend Kathy. They receive their tickets, and they decide they're going to attend the screening.
I like that, like, she walks up to him again and like literally goes like, "Hi, can I just need
actually."
and then she just so
I know I just
sheepish.
ran from you in terror, but
yeah, but can I get can I just get a second one? Also, like the face.
I didn't know you were
is that,
giving
like,
out
a
shit.
promo?
I thought you were
Yeah.
a creep.
Yes.
I mean, look at you, honestly.
Have you seen
Honestly,
yourself?
look at you. Have you seen
Why
yourself?
are they having you do this?
And then he's just like handing them out to everyone. Hey, come on down. He doesn't say anything, but
No, but is that part of the movie? That like the thing on your face, and then like him just like lurching away.
Oh, it's like a promo. Yeah, and then she meets up with her friend Kathy, and they're like, "Let's skip going to class or going to whatever the hell they needed to do, and let's go just check out this movie tonight." Brings us to the Metropole. The theater lights up as some woman in green looks at herself in the mirror, getting ready, checking herself out.
Just like
The audience, yeah, pretty much. She has like, fiery red hair, like kind of curly-ish, long red hair, looking very mystical. The audience starts to arrive, which is our cast of characters, which includes Cheryl and Kathy. We get a blind man and his daughter. There's an old couple that are, I guess, like on their anniversary, seemingly. Some young couples. There's
Is it
these
a blind man
George and Ken.
Is his daughter or is his wife?
It's his daughter.
I thought
It's
it
his
was
daughter.
just like a helper.
Everything when I was looking into stuff for my notes, it kept coming up as his daughter. I mean, maybe I could be completely
that context
wrong
makes
too.
that context makes more sense to me. Where because like the entire time I've been watching this is just like, oh my god, she just takes this dude to a theater and then just bones other men in the curtains, and then like I was like, oh my god, this is terrible. This marriage is. I was like, it makes more sense. Like, oh, I'm taking care of my ailing dad. Let me just put him in front of a big screen real quick while I get railed, and then come back. Okay,
Sure.
all right. I feel better about that scenario for some reason.
I mean, I had some wild parties at my house when my deaf grandma was watching.
Oh yeah. Definitely had some grandma parties.
Luckily, nothing turned anything to anything like demons. Grandma parties were the best.
That's
so
amazing.
And we also get, as I said, George and Ken are like two male leads, and a pimp, Tony, with his two prostitutes, Rosemary and Carmen.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's kind of like excited for this movie, hanging out. It's like this. You don't really know what's going on here because it's like this real weird mix of like old and like weird cyber new cool stuff, like in the design of this place.
Mm-hmm.
It's
in the center. There's a dirt bike with
our main attraction. Yeah.
Like
Was it a dirt bike, a samurai sword,
studded like
it's like a samurai mannequin.
Yeah.
Riding a dirt bike.
Yes.
Holding this mask.
Yeah.
Or has this mask placed upon his hand, and it's, I don't know, this silver
demon
fucking
mask?
skull demon.
It's like a chrome
futuristic looking mask.
Yeah.
For no one, because we don't show the video. Sam is holding up his shirt. He's wearing.
I was
a
letting you
shirt
guys
that-
describe it.
Oh,
thank
there
you.
go.
We
Thank
could
you.
see it. Yeah. This, for some reason, catches the attention of Rosemary, one of the prostitutes, and she playfully puts the mask on. But as she removes it, the mask leaves a small scratch on her face, seemingly
Ow.
harmless injury. And maybe that'll come back to haunt her.
Will it?
The audience starts to settle into the theater as George and Ken decide to pull their move and sit down next to Cheryl and Kathy. Like, we'll hang out. Hang out with the ladies. And everyone kind of starts pouring in. Tony's telling his ladies to shut up and sit down.
Yeah.
I will. Okay. I absolutely love how eclectic the audience is in the theater. Very much on par with like just a dude randomly handing people free passes to stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I would have like the easy out would have been just like a cast of 50 college kids. You know what I mean? I do like the fact that there's so many different kinds of people in theater.
Diverse
So
cast
it's like,
of people. Yeah.
I
do like it's like all these like kind of like very almost specific types of people. It's you got the old couple on their anniversary. Yeah, essentially the pimp.
Oh my god, who's hilarious!
Like the biggest.
Yeah. I mean,
he's wild.
Normally,
his voice alone has there's the fucking bravado, the deep bass in his voice is so fun to listen to. As he tells it like, "Sit down, shut up."
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny. Which I mean, normally, you know, I'm against pimping. I'll go ahead and say it. I'm not into pimps.
Whoa.
In general.
Brave. That is brave.
But
that was very brave of you.
Tony makes me laugh. And he's not real.
And he's not real.
Whoa. This isn't real? I thought I know the movie within the movie's fake, but I thought this was real.
This is the documentary, Sam.
Are you guys kidding me?
Are you messing with me, Mom?
Are you fucking with me right now?
So we get the rest of the audience rolling in. The film begins. And while the film's going on, I think like our elf lady, our elf usher, she's like going through and like, hey, you can't smoke in here to various people and shit like that. Audience doing audience thing.
Various shenanigans.
Yeah. As our movie starts happening. So
did anybody else get like off of Usher Lady? Like every time I watch this, and I've seen it, so like the plot's not going to change. But it's like, are you the main bad guy? Like you're shot in all these weird, complex, tight shots that make no fucking sense, and then she just she breaks the fourth wall and just stares at the camera, and you're just like, who are you? Like, what is this?
I think it's supposed to set up that we think she is.
Yeah,
it's like a red herring. Like it's supposed to
a literal red-headed herring.
Not quite, but yes, I think it's supposed to just be a misdirect and throw us off at this point, or they didn't really.
It works so well.
I mean, Argento produced it, so it was like, hey, it'll be fine. Come on.
Yeah. So our film within the film is about a group of young people who discover an ancient cursed mask in a tomb. As they explore the tomb, one of them finds a book that explains the mask's nature, I guess. Right.
Yeah,
and according to the book, anyone who wears the mask will be turned into a demon. True to the curse, when one of the characters of the film puts the mask on, they're immediately transformed. Well, they start transforming the demon. They get like cut on their face. And
I love this little mini movie. It's so I think it's like when the what was it? The fucking tombstone with the cross on it just explodes for no reason in front of the girls, and they're like, oh fucking shit, oh, okay, keep on reading though, everything's fine. this is totally normal. Like it gave me was like Tomb of the Blind Dead vibes, which is just about satanic undead Templar knights, but it had the same kind of like setup in the graveyard and shit like that, where it's like, I don't know. It's just, I wish, and I think because it's Bava and Argento, is that there is a version of this movie within a movie that they just did. Like I feel like that's shot. Like I think that like the movie.
You think they shot a full movie,
a full length feature film, and then just cut in whatever they needed to.
That'd be interesting. If it exists, that'd be fun to see. So as we learn, the person in the movie gets a cut, and Rosemary is kind of like, wait a minute, this seems familiar, and I'm not feeling too hot right now with all this going on.
Shit.
She's kind of initially brushed off the scratch. She's coming more uncomfortable. As the movie progresses, she starts feeling unwell, is all shifty, uneasy in her seat. She touches her face, notices that the small scratch from the mark or from the mask worsened a little bit.
Yeah.
And she's like, I should probably go to the the bathroom here. I'm gonna go excuse myself. She gets up.
I'm gonna go lance this boil real quick.
Yeah.
Well, it's not boiled quite yet. She doesn't know how bad it's getting. She goes to the bathroom. Really cool setup and shot. Just cool like vibey stuff going on in here with this. Looks in the mirror as this small scratch has become a grotesque, like pulsating sore. Pulsating, like it's
disgusting.
The effects here is disgusting. Yes.
Oh, I guess we should have said this too. Honestly, I would throw this into the body horror.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Too.
Oh,
because
definitely.
like there's so many crazy metamorphosis like turning into shit. Like
definitely
this entire scene where it's like, the squibs and the balloons on her cheek as this thing's like expanding out and just
you
shoot.
even kind of said it and we didn't think of it. You were like weird fingernail things.
You know, when your body just starts doing weird, gross things and it's really kind of horrific.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Body horror? Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't think they have like a name for anything like that.
So I think you're right.
So this is, this great, gross, pussy, sore thing that pops open.
Ugh.
And obviously Rosemary freaks out about this. And I think while this is going on, Carmen and the pimp, they're hanging out and he's almost like, where's she at? And Carmen's like, I should probably go check on her. So she gets out of the theater and goes into the bathroom to check on Rosemary. She looks through each of the stalls and finds Demon Rosemary waiting for her, and she fucking lashes at her and like cuts her on the side of the neck, like shoulder area, gashes her.
Yeah, like rips the side of her throat out with her fingers. It's like 4 lines.
Yeah, that's it.
This
like tears it.
I remember this distinctly. This is one of the first movies that I ever watched in my trek to horror where she turned around. I audibly yelled, "Oh fuck." Like it was I think it's just like seeing the full like and then the fucking immediate slash to the throat. Like all of the wounds in this movie are so deep and so intense when they zoom in on them.
Yeah.
Like I was not prepared for that. Like I don't think up until this point I had seen a movie that had done the gore, like deep gore. Like this is like full like not mannequins, but like we got like prosthetics, yes, but like they're building full like neck cavities and like torsos and shit. Like it feels I don't know, it hits on a completely different level.
It's certainly good, fun effects that are effective, and when they like, it seems like the demons have so much power in how much damage they can inflict with like simply like grabbing and scratching and how deep it goes. Yeah,
you're like, oh my god.
So also, Carmen runs.
Oh, sorry. Also, the fact that when she's running away, where I'm like, that demon's fingernail was 3 inches into the side. You're like, you just be gone. I like that she lurches to behind the theater screen, like, fuck, oh god.
Yeah, she eventually makes her way there in almost like a Scream 2-esque moment. She runs away first and ends up behind some theater curtains. The movie continues at this point as Demon Rosemary is trying to hunt down Carmen, but Carmen's able to hide. Meanwhile, the blind man notices his daughter, again I called her, is missing. So he's calling out, trying to find her. Liz, where are you? Where are you? Where'd you go? But she's off necking with someone.
Yeah,
some random
dude.
It's
older.
Than her. Looks older, certainly. Yeah. He has like male pattern baldness going on with the hair.
It's got like a Friar Tuck thing going on.
Yeah, whatever it is.
The Costanza.
So she's off necking. He's looking for her. And at the same time, Carmen's still trying to find help. And this is when she ends up behind the movie screen. While she's screaming for help, a character in the movie is also screaming for help until eventually she like breaks through the movie screen and the crowd rushes down to see like, oh my God, what's going on? What's happening here?
Why'd you do this?
Oh my God.
Why'd you ruin my movie?
Oh, fuck, look at her neck.
What does he say? What does he say? He's like, I know her. She's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
A friend. Uh-huh.
She's a friend. Yeah,
that
sure.
is what he says.
Meanwhile, back inside the theater, Rosemary continues her rampage. She sneaks up on the young couple who had been kissing and necking. So that's Liz and this dude. and kills them by like choking them out with like a theater rope, like a velvet rope, I imagine, or something like that.
Which is so
Grabs some
funny
sort
to
of
me.
rope and like wraps it around their heads and starts squeezing.
The power level on these demons like feels like they could physically punch through people, and she decides to use a velvet rope just to strangle.
Why not?
I think, but I love it though, like when they're, because
Have
it's
a
like
little
they're almost
pizzazz.
embracing. It reminds me of the couple kissing in Treevenge, and like the branches going through and then interlocking.
Yes, I thought
and
of
then
that
kissing.
Certainly. These little kissing deaths.
Yeah, so the
Kissing
kissing death
deaths.
is pretty good. But the shot though of them and then her like the demon in the background just grimacing while doing it is also top notch.
So yeah, I guess she essentially chokes them out. I think kills them in that instance. Anyway, their screams seem to catch the attention of the rest of the audience down below, who's checking out what's going on the stage. They slowly start to, I guess, they put it together at this point, really, like, oh my God, it's happening. Like, what's happening in the movie? Like, things are going off. It's starting to get crazy. This isn't good. So,
This
is bad.
I would love to see this in a movie theater, just to be in a movie theater, watching them in a movie theater, watching a movie. But is it meta that the movie they're watching, it's reflecting their it's meta for the characters.
it's
in
meta
the movie,
as yes, there's
right?
levels of meta. Yes,
Yeah,
I would say so.
it's very
less so for us, but more so for them.
yes. It's very stupid, but it's like a film version of Jumanji for me, where it's like, okay, they know the
There's
like,
3
they're-
film versions of Jumanji.
well, as in as in like a demonic version of Jumanji, as in like they went to go see a movie about demons, and then they wound up actually getting a demon infestation inside of it.
The last
Where it's
action
like-
hero of demons.
Oh, there we
Demoni.
go. Demoni.
Last action hero.
Demone. So all this chaos is ensuing now. It's really it's starting to pop off. Carmen starts undergoing her transformation. Here's where we get some more gooey, bubbly, pussy, finger breaking.
The fingernails, oh god, coming out of the
That's so
normal
good.
nails is
It looks so good.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's
and
I mean
gooey.
it's gross. Like I've watched this movie a bunch now within the past like year and a half or whatever it's been, and that part still gets me. I'm like, I feel it.
Wow, goo.
And then her teeth start becoming
Oh,
jagged,
that
and
too.
like they're pushing out their other teeth. It's all like the demon pushing out all the human aspects, like slowly
Oh,
from like
I
the
didn't think of it
fingers and
that
like
way.
the teeth,
I like
and then like
It's,
the weird tongue that just like comes out and goes all long and gross for a second. It's like, oh, I'm gross. And then like all of a sudden, the dude that Liz was necking comes hanging from like the balcony, and
Yep.
homegirl's turning into not super demon, but just a demon. And so all the survivors are freaking out, start to panic, and
Chaos.
going off. Chaos ensues. Carmen attacks the old guy on his anniversary and rips his throat apart. This one is
yeah.
fucking pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
it's
digs into it.
brutal. It, like the from behind, like rip out is like, ugh.
Yeah, that's a fun one for sure.
The from behind rip out's always a fun one.
Yeah.
I love a good from behind rip out. Werner, I believe is the guy's name, the blind man. He's searching for Liz still, and he finds her dead on the floor. He is then attacked by Rosemary, has his eyes gouged out,
This
and kind of his face rubbed a lot.
it's more, yeah, it was a super deep tissue massage done by a
Yeah,
demon.
definitely.
But the fucking whatever prosthetic or what, like the thumb fishing inside of that eye socket or fake eye socket was so gross and so good. Like I could see the thumb moving underneath
The like
ugh,
skin.
the fake. Yeah. Ugh. So I was chef's goo kiss.
Ew.
Gee.
Ew.
A goo.
The remaining survivors start to run around desperately trying to find a way out. but they start running into locked doors, dead ends, and straight up bricked walls behind doors that they tear down. So there's seemingly no way out. Tony takes lead at this point, or he starts to try to take lead and starts to direct the crowd to find the emergency exit. So everyone starts running around again at this point.
Yeah.
And then we have some woman going off into a room and gets her like head scalp ripped off by Rosemary.
That's a good one
Oh,
too.
that one is gnarly. So gnarly.
Sticky.
And also,
gooey.
okay, so when they revealed that all the doors and window, everything is all like just gone, like there's no exit at all. It made me think like partially, I was like, oh my God, is the Metropole like a roach motel? Like, is it like luring people in and then whatever movie is playing that week murders the entire
Like the Hotel
audience?
California.
Yep, and then it resets itself and then opens its doors again and goes like, all right, well, it's just next showing's going to be a sci-fi one. So then the next group just gets completely murdered by aliens or something.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Well, I mean, this seemingly feels like the only time this, or maybe other instances, they're able to fight back the intruders, because what happens here seems to infect the world.
Yes.
Well, they get out.
Yeah. They do. Oh, that's it. They do get out.
Survivors, they start trying to fight back at this point as the demon horde grows. Our little group of, like, I guess our main characters starts to form a little more. This is like George, Cheryl, Kathy, Ken, Tony is in that mix at this point. And there's a few other people hanging out. I believe there's some dude who's looking for his girlfriend, Hannah, I think we see at some point.
Yeah.
Yes.
I forget what his name is.
I like how he screams, have you seen my girlfriend?
Yeah,
No.
that comes out like that's mixed in at here. So they somehow again determine that the movie playing is exactly like what's going on here, and that's something to do with what's going on. So maybe they should get to the projector room.
Yes.
We also see, right, like after they make this
We gotta
assertion,
stop the movie.
we get the dude running, girl, like being like, "Where's Hannah? I can't find her. I lost her." And then he runs off trying to find her still. And I think we see her, what is presumably her, like crawling.
She
like,
is like
down
still.
in
She
the-
just hid
in the
behind
theater.
some seats down in the bottom. They're up in the balcony now.
Yes, they're making their way there. They're getting to that area. So the group makes it to the projector room and discovers that everything's automated. I guess they're like, nobody's here. It's just all runs by itself.
There's
all
not a
this
man
computery
standing here
looking.
cranking it by hand.
We're getting murdered by the future.
And then they start like trying to pull out the film and like,
Let's just fuck this
Dismantle it.
movie up. I mean, I get, you know what? In a frenzied panic, I guess when like there are no exits anymore, and then you're like, let's get the guy in the fucking projection booth, and there's no one in there, I would just probably start peeling everything apart. Be like, okay, what if we just
well, yeah, I mean, they
gotta stop it
presumably think the
somehow.
film
What
is
else are
the
you gonna
problem.
do?
Yeah, you got to do
Yeah.
something. And then let's cut to some punks.
Yeah, who
Oh
are
my
these
God.
people? Why
Fuck are these
did I
guys?
miss something? That was I not paying attention and they were in this movie earlier?
No, they just randomly show up.
We get this gang of punks
We're
led
no
by
longer in the theater.
Ripper, and this also includes Nina, Hot Dog, and Baby Pig. So they're all hanging out with their
Ragtag crew.
Coke can full of cocaine,
Cocaine.
having a ripping good time, riding around the
With
streets
the
of
straw,
Berlin.
like into the can that they're sharing.
And that's how they're doing their coke. So they're all of a sudden we get this scene of them just like riding around. Then we're back at the theater. The group has made their way back into like the theater, like the seated part, and they run into our blind man with his eyes missing. And he's like, "It's not the movie, it's the theater."
Ah!
So he's
The theater.
yeah, so it's a cursed
Which
theater.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I like this guy. This guy's what I know. It's what I'm talking about. I like the fact that he's not screaming, "Oh my God, my fucking eyeballs."
Nah, he's fine.
He's just proclaiming shit.
That deep
We're just
tissue
like that.
massage really relaxed him.
Gosh,
It
Takes away the
seemed to
pain.
me like sometimes the theater almost kind of possessed people to like every
Do
once
stuff.
in a while people behave strangely, including that and the elf lady, and there's a couple other characters that I'm like, why would they do this? Maybe they're sort of under the influence right now.
of the theater.
From the theater. Well, At this point, Tony sees Liz's body and is like, we got to throw her over the balcony because she could be a demon. And the blind dude's like, no, don't do that. Like, she's dead. She's dead. Like, it's fine. She's not a demon. He's like, Tony's like, nope, gotta launch it. Someone help me with the legs. I gotta throw this thing off of here. But then all of a sudden the old guy attacks. Tony pulls out his switchblade, knifes him a little bit, and throws him over the balcony onto the girl that was hiding down below.
Which I think is Hannah.
Yes,
I
believe yes, exactly.
And that's when we get like just blood
so much.
And
this
puke,
was the puke I was talking
this
about.
Is like just
sure, certainly.
She's just
I can see that now.
Yeah, it's definitely there. It's all bull. I just thought it's so red. I thought it was from like his throat all gashed out and just blood just gushing and pouring.
It could be that too.
Could be,
but
maybe it's both.
It could be. It's probably a little bit of both. A little bit of everything mixed in there.
Blood puke.
Regardless, there's a lot just like
in the
gushing over this woman.
It's like someone took a fire hose and shoved it in a mannequin and just
cut to some punks.
Punks doing coke. They're punks.
It's like Billy Idol's like White Wedding. Is that at this point? Like that happens at some point with these punks.
And we find out, I think, that this is a stolen car that they're driving around.
Yeah, they're driving around, trying to avoid cops.
Driving around a stolen car doing coke.
Punk
as
things.
Punks do.
Exactly.
Also, the soundtrack in this movie, shy of Goblin stuff, is also fucking phenomenal.
I mean, it's fun. It's just got a lot of good, fun music.
It's like Billy Idol. It's got what, Maiden, Metallica.
It's got some good stuff in there for sure.
Back to the theater. Tony tries to be more resourceful, organizes a plan, barricade parts of the theater to keep the demons at bay. But then he's attacked. He gets like fucking 3 demons or so launch onto him. He's pretty much taken out there.
That takes care of that.
Yep. Our guy from earlier, who's running around looking for Hannah, finds her. She was, I said, she was the one that the guy fell on that got all bloodied
covered in vomit.
Blood.
Or
they meet up.
Stuff.
She seems fine. He mentioned something about a scratch, I think. One of them mentioned something about a scratch, but everyone seems okay.
It's like, well, they interrogate each other. He goes like, wait, are you hurt?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not my blood.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened to you? Oh, it's just a scratch.
Mm.
Don't even look at it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just a scratch.
Punks are still driving around, still doing coke, but now they're fighting over the coke. And now they're spilling the coke.
Oh, that's my coke. Oh, no, it's everywhere.
Oh, no. Back to the theater goers. Barricading more. Ripping up seats, throwing them on front of doors, just ripping up seats, putting them, trying to like brace up the balcony. Just a whole bunch of destroying and ripping up and barricading. And then the punks at this point end up near the Metropole Theater. They got to clean up all their coke. So they go, I guess, park or something, whatever. The audience in the theater has now decided that they need to be pounding on the walls to try to attract help from the outside and hope someone can hear them. Which also leads to them breaking through a wall that leads them to like a fucking dead end, bricked up, empty room with no escape.
You mean the room of like viral hysteria? Just how one woman starts screaming and then slowly every woman in the room is just screaming like crazy, hysterically.
It's the hysterical room, man.
Unbelievable. That was another one where I was like, well, maybe, they're under the influence somehow.
Oh, sure. I didn't really think much of it. I was like, there's been a lot of screaming and running around and people being crazy. I think they're just doing it more.
I think it is super Italian.
So theater goes barricading, more coke. I forgot to mention the nipples and the razors that happened within this whole intercutting.
When they're cleaning it up. Yeah. Oh, looks like there's a little snow in the valley. And then really long shot of
the dialogue in that entire scene, like them making fun of each other. And then what was like, there's just a random like, oh my God, it's in my panties. You're just like, oh,
Yeah.
No.
Making it,
Well,
making it numb.
they end that scene. We go back into so then it was the audience doing their whole thing. Then we're back outside with the punks again. Some cops roll up on them. The punks run off, and this is how they find their way essentially into the Metropole at this point. And
the Metropole lets them in. They're like in an alley that they can't
escape.
Escape, and the door swings open on its own.
So they run into there, and the cops also at this point encounter a demon and like shoot it.
Yeah, because when we see them run in, it's a really cool shot. Actually, it's that wide shot where the door's kind of small, and it's in the alley. And after they all go in, we see one come out and like duck down behind a car before the door closes.
And the cops encounter it, like shoot it. Seemingly that's the end of that. Hannah and her dude at this point are like crawling through some air vents. The punks, they're working their way through the theater as well. Back in the vents, we see something crawling after the couple now. And they get to like this kind of cross point in the vent, and the guy's like, Hannah, go ahead of me. And then she turns into a demon, right? Is what happens, and attacks him. Something happens, and he gets attacked, or she gets. I got confused watching this a few times.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if it was the creature that was following them finally caught up with them, but something happened there.
Yeah, no, I think she turns and attacks him. I could be remembering.
Because he says something like, I can't believe it. And then gets attacked.
Oh my God.
So back to the punks. They're running around trying to figure out what the heck's been going on in here. Like, this is really weird, but the theater's fucking all abandoned. Like, shit's like destroyed. All shit looks like crazy in here.
Bodies around.
Yeah. All these weird bodies. What's up with all the bodies?
What's up?
Nina like goes off by herself and decides to just like stare at herself in a mirror for some reason. And she gets attacked.
Well, yeah, they go in a room and then everybody leaves except her. She's like has to look at herself.
Yeah. So
put on some lipstick.
She gets attacked. The punks hear her and kind of run off to find her. And this is the point when we get that cool shot of the demons, all the horde of them like coming up the stairs with their glowing yellow eyes.
Oh, God, the eyes
are.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really fun.
So cool. Yeah. I love that.
Chaos continues to ensue as the demons start to overtake the barricades in the theater and go after the survivors. And then we just get a whole bunch of killing and such. Fun and gross killing.
Yeah, just like a blood orgy. Is that what they called it?
An orgy, a bloodbath. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's what we get here.
Blood orgy. Yay.
It's a good time. George, Cheryl, Kathy, and Ken, they escape all of this madness, and they find their way into one of the side rooms or something, and they're like, oh, there's a vent. Let's go through that, I think. And they're like, Kathy, she should go first. She doesn't look like she's doing too well. Kathy's not doing too well. She got a little ouchie.
She's not at all.
Yeah, she slowly transforms into a demon, and Ken hops into action and just starts beating her over the head with, I don't know,
the grate.
Yeah, the grate.
I think it's like the grate.
Yeah,
and it's like not half-hearted thwacks. Like he's
going for it,
full-throated
skull. He is full. He's very grateful.
He knows what needs to be done. He isn't fucking around. He's like, shit's fucked.
It, Ross.
Thank you.
Oh, grateful.
Took me a second, but I was like, because of the look on his face after saying it, I was like, he did something there. What was it?
I need to figure this one out. So Kathy has, well, that hasn't quite. I mean, maybe that's killed Kathy, but there's something else that needs to get its way out of here. This part is fucking awesome.
Amazing.
This is so cool. It's so unexpected the first time you see it. It's so much fun.
Yes.
Kathy's almost kind of like on all fours, and a demon starts to claw and crawl its way like out of her back. And
and this isn't awesome. Like the people we've seen turned into demons. This is like a
whole new thing.
Dark, black, horny, a demon, a creature.
But it's also like tiny. Like think of it like they're
An
almost
imp.
an imp. Yes, that's a great way of putting it. Where it's like, yeah, it's just like, and also, good Lord, the second that started happening and like it was terrible comparison. It's like in, what was it, Tremors 2, when the graboids turn into like the weird other things. You're like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Like, I'm so used to just the whole movie's primed you for like infection, corpse, demons. So when an actual demon rips out of her back, I was hooting and hollering the entire time. I was
It's
like,
wild.
What the fuck? This is amazing.
And you know what? When we saw them live, you know what I did? Looked over at Cody and Sergio to see their live reaction.
And what was it?
Was it good? And Sam's been
actually, I think they were
ever
hooping
since.
and hollering.
Yeah,
because Cody
It's a fun
really
time.
embraced the environment.
of course. It was a lot of fun. So Kathy has birthed this demon from her back. She's a husk on the floor now. This demon.
I like how it just scuttles away.
Well, it like jumps at Ken, slashes him, and then scuttles away. So Ken's been been hit.
A little slash and scuttle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ken then runs away because he pretty much knows he's fucked, and he doesn't want George to see him like this. But he ultimately has a last wish and asks George to kill him with this samurai sword here.
Can you kill me, buddy?
George can't do it. Ultimately can't do it. Ken does turn into a demon, and then George is able to slash him with the sword and take care of business.
I gotta say, I'd probably have to wait till you guys were demons too.
That'd be a little tough to slash your head with a samurai sword. Maybe if it was some other way, like. I'm not skilled enough with the sword. It would be.
Maybe
I'd have
if
to
we're like months into this, and I've seen how everything goes down, but this is still all fresh. There's no way.
This just started kicking off 30 minutes ago. You want me to chop your head off already?
So my only counter argument is that if this is like demon logic. See, I'm thinking like Evil Dead style, where like if the person's possessed, their soul's just getting eaten in hell or something like that. But if I murder you before you're taken over, then is your soul okay? You know what I mean? Like if we're going through like demon law.
I just don't know if I could hack away at your fucking neck with a samurai sword, because there's no way I could one chop you. I'm sorry, I don't have that skill. So it would just be like a flunk. And then you'd be like,
and then I would be like, and then you would be like, oh god.
Like I'd have,
come on, Brian, pretend I'm fruit in your backyard. Cut it off.
Nice deep cut. All right, so Ken launches, and he gets killed that way. This sets us up for another fantastic scene here. George is like, I'm going to take it to the next level. I got this samurai sword now. I saw this fucking dirt bike over here. How can I use this?
I gotta say, as fun as this movie is, what's about to happen really kicks it up like so much for me.
It's what?
Oh, totally. Well, the third act is like basically an action movie.
I mean, it
like,
blends our horror and action here. Yeah. I mean, George rides 100%. Through the aisles of the theater, slashing hordes of demons, essentially. That's it.
It's so good. It's
sweet
so
music
good.
Playing.
It's unbelievable. Oh my goodness. It's so fun.
I think it's this scene where he stops and the demon has its fingers in the wheel well.
Yeah, it is.
And then he's like, then he starts revving it and like just starts snapping and then just with the hand and just ripping shit. Oh,
he is ripping shit for it's so good. And then he ends up off the bike and just starts slicing down more demons with the sword and just fucking going for it. I mean, it's dope as shit. Let's throw a samurai sword into a demon movie. For a living?
What's
like,
his day job? Yeah.
He's a plumber.
He owns a dojo, incidentally. He is
fantastic.
He teaches like sword fighting.
It's like I've been waiting my whole life for this.
With all this like classic metal in the soundtrack, I would have loved to have had Holy Diver playing from Dio. Just while he's slicing demons and ripping shit on that motorcycle would have been so fun.
The Chuddle cut will remix it, put in different music. I love that. So he sliced it down.
Fear in Italian.
It's true. It's true.
It's true.
We get like a little bit of a quiet moment for a second until they start hearing a whoosh whoosh, a little something outside. All of a sudden, a helicopter crashes through the theater's roof. Boom! Right down the middle. Busts it wide open.
Again, this was almost as shocking as the demon that comes out. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
This felt very familiar to me in the sense of like a Resident Evil game. I feel like there's constantly helicopters crashing into buildings.
Into buildings and stuff like that.
I'm like, okay.
And it's honestly,
I understand this.
I understand this right now. This is also the first nod that something isn't right on the outside.
Strange things are afoot. Elsewhere for sure. So they go down to investigate the wreckage while some more demons start closing in while they're in the helicopter. And Cheryl's like, oh my God, George, do something. He's able to briefly start up the blades of the helicopter, which takes out the demons. Awesome. Great.
He's like, don't worry, I'll be able to get these to go just fast enough to do some damage.
Good job. It worked. George and Cheryl then use the wreckage of the helicopter to rig a sort of pulley system out and up onto the roof. On the roof, they think they're safe, but we have a final confrontation. Oh my God, it's our final boss, the masked man from the beginning of the movie. He's back.
Chrome mask.
Still doesn't talk.
He pushes George into the hole, but George is able to like barely hang on to some exposed rebar or something like that. And I guess the masked man's going to fucking push George off more or something. And so Cheryl comes and stabs him in the back with some sort of iron
like
bowl, whatever gate.
I think it's whatever they use to like hook themselves up there.
There you go. And shoves it back into him while he's all distracted with having a pipe in his back or whatever. George is able to get back up, and they kind of are able to like push him down and his face into, I think, some exposed rebar.
Yes.
And
it's weird.
That's what takes care of this guy.
It seems like it's like a TV antenna or something like that, because it has all like I honestly thought it was a grappling hook the first time that I saw it, and it's like, oh, it's like some weird but then it reminded me of Zombie, where with the broken wood eyeball scene. With the rebar, but just on like a RoboCop version of it, because all you see is the chrome version of his face just like getting closer to the rebar. I do like the fact that it's slow and just tons of goo coming out of it after it's done, and then they go back to it. Like they go, just in case you missed it, here's another
still going out
30 seconds. It's still coming out. It's still lots of goo.
After that, they kind of look out upon the city and they see through some windows. Things seem to be kind of overrun with demons, and they start making their escape, working their way through. Things aren't looking too good, but eventually they're picked up by a group of survivors driving through the city in their Jeep.
Fucking ragtag team, the little ass kid.
Ragtag, if there's ever a ragtag group of people.
Because
the old man, the child,
and the teenage girl, or maybe early 20s girl.
So the survivors, demons have overrun the city, they say, and they've been fighting them off. As the Jeep drives off, we get this moment of relief. Everyone's made it. Until suddenly, Cheryl, oh my God, she transforms into a demon. She must have been scratched or something. And she goes to attack. And as she lunges at George, our young boy survivor shoots her before she can cause any harm. And then that takes care of Cheryl. George is left alone as our lone survivor from our original group. Cheryl's dead.
When this happens,
they drive off. Finn.
I think this was the first time that I'd seen a mid-credit scene, because like when they're driving off, the credits start and then the fucking like,
but it doesn't go to black and then come back. It like sort of zooms in and stays on them the whole time. But it still is like you could still just assume it's over and then eventually it's going to fade to black.
But it is hilarious, like the credits roll and then like that last like gotcha was just
right.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Demons for us. The mono. So do you guys have any final thoughts before we go over to our crematorium?
What a freaking wild ride. From
fun stuff. I want to watch this with people again. I think I might see Goblin play to it again, actually.
Love it.
Ross is.
So with those, let's head over to our things. Our thingums. We're back.
Holy shit.
Holy shit, guys. We're back. We got the crematorium questions. All right. First off, would we survive this one? And how are we going to survive it if we can?
Fuck.
So we're in the theater. We went and we got tickets to see Demons, or we got tickets to see this movie at the Metropole.
Mm-hmm.
Do we make it out?
No.
Any of us?
No. I think maybe luck of the draw, but I don't know, man. I feel that.
Well, we got a samurai sword and a dirt bike.
Okay. I would say, okay, I usually, one of us would, I think two of us are going to get nuked. One of us will survive.
Okay. Yeah, it's possible. I think it's,
I'm for sure not surviving.
I doubt it. There's so much chaos. You never know where a demon's going to get you from.
Yeah.
It'd really just be luck.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah, this one's a little bit tougher. They tough demons.
Mm-hmm.
It could be doable, but you know, we might have a tough time with it. You want to make this one gooier? Does it need to be gooier?
No.
Do you want more bustin' boils? Do you want more pus popping?
No.
Balls barfing.
I think it's damn near perfect. I mean, you could, if you needed to add goo, have the demon jump into someone instead of jumping out of someone.
What do you mean instead of? You mean on top of?
On top of. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Out of and in of and around and then out of again.
Yeah. And then out of again. No, but it's perfect. It's just my goo is overflowing in this film.
Nice.
It's got pretty high goo levels. The beaker overfloweth. Villain level. Are these demons themselves? I mean, that's kind of hard to. I mean, they all kind of share maybe some traits of long fingers and teeth and yellow eyes,
super strength,
and then obviously the you got the goblin, the homunculus little demon guy. But our power level and iconography, what are we putting that at here?
Oof.
Power level, they're pretty strong. They're pretty tough.
Yeah. And technically, I guess if you kill them, they can regenerate, as in pop a small imp out of their backs and then attack you again.
So I guess it
really
depends.
Gross Mogwai.
Yes,
that seemingly was the only one that it happened to, but maybe it was happening elsewhere that we didn't see.
We don't know.
Yeah. I'm not going to give it like God power, but I would give it like a 4.5.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Where it's
I would have given it like a 3 if we give a human like a 1.
Yeah. I mean, like these things have super strength. They can infect you by literally just nicking you. I think and then they can also regenerate and respawn is like wild. Like there's so many things against you. I feel like the power level is just like, not God tier, but like, it's like a plague.
I'd give it a 3.5. I mean, they are killable, minus the one that we see that comes out of someone's back. Other ones are seemingly killable.
I mean, you just need a dirt bike and a samurai sword.
That's also true.
So a 3.5 iconography. What do you think about that? Boils.
It's tough.
They're not that iconic. I don't think. I think it's low.
I'd probably go like a 3 as well. I think the yellow eye shot.
Yeah.
That can be considered
iconic.
You know, it's weird. I feel like the transformations into the demons are more iconic than the actual end product that is the demons.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Sure.
So I agree.
Yeah.
I think probably like maybe like a 3.5.
I'll give it a 3 as well. So that's
well, yeah.
Our total villain level around about a 6 to a 7 or so, depending on 6.5, 7.5 ish.
Yeah.
Does this deserve a sequel?
6.75.
A 6.75. Do you want a sequel for this one?
I do.
And
I know exactly what I want.
What is it?
The ragtag team. How did they get there? How did they get in the Jeep? I want like point of info, but from their perspective.
Absolutely.
And the end of the movie is just
interesting. I want sort of Halloween 2 type of thing where it
Continues.
just picks up.
ooh, yeah,
What's his name? George.
George.
yes, yeah,
Yeah, just with this group, and now they're on the road.
in the demon wasteland.
Maybe make it more like an Aliens type thing, where
Just
we've gone
leans
full into
full
the
in the
action.
yeah. I love that.
Yeah, no, I like that. I'd see either one of those. I think work great. I like the idea of seeing what that little boy has had to go through, shooting demons along
Yeah.
the way, and like
Yes.
he's just like he's the hard ass of the group. I mean, he's fucking has no
Yeah.
problem taking out
Mhm.
Cheryl. So
Yeah, I'd like to see either of those, probably over the second one.
yeah, I agree. Would you buy the soundtrack or score on vinyl?
Yes,
Yes, absolutely.
100%.
I agree. Definitely would.
But Scotty, if you hear this, our friend from Fun with Horror, check out Fun,
Listen
with,
to
Horror.
Fun with Horror.
The answer is no. None of us would buy this.
No, it sucks. Soundtracks and scores are stupid.
Terrible.
Only losers like them.
Hate it.
Hate it, the worst. But yeah, totally would buy it. It's awesome time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything action figure worthy? I think
yeah.
to have like an action figure playset of our woman on all fours with the demon popping out, or maybe like
Yes.
you can make it like do like that. So like pop in and
That'd
out
be
of it. I
really
think that would
good.
be really cool.
I would take Tony in any form.
Mhm.
Actually,
Sam's a big
preferably
pimp guy.
like little glowing yellow
Yeah.
lights.
That'd be fun. Merch or prop? You want any merch or prop from the film?
I mean the mask, obviously,
mask,
but I
yeah.
would love to get the
Dirt bike
pass,
and samurai
the pass
sword.
to the movie, like the Metropole ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be good. Want to take up much space? Neither with the mask though. The mask is number
Yeah.
one. Maybe melty guy face mask
Ooh.
also.
Yeah, mask definitely number one,
Mhm.
Tickets are
and
good.
ticket. I would take both of those.
I'd also take a small jar of all the teeth and fingernails that popped off of all of the characters.
Just
A
take
vial
little
of
scoop
goo.
of that
Just
goo.
a
Just a
scoop
little
of that.
vial. That'd be fun to have different vials of goo from different
Goo.
movies. That's
Yeah.
my goo
That
collection.
would be super
That's
That
very
would
on
be
brand
cool.
with Chuddle the Pod. Chuddle the Pod needs a goo collection. If you guys
Sure.
have the hookup to various goos from horror movies,
Let us
we'll
know.
take them.
Or
Absolutely.
maybe we can put our own goo out that's like a body lotion.
Oh, trust me, in a perfect world where we would have like a slime, a Chuddle the Pod
Oh,
slime that
totally.
we can, give out at our Chuddle fests and such, and have
In a perfect world.
a perfect world.
If I could wish for anything for this one.
Maybe a Chuddle the Pod slime. That's the one
Absolutely.
thing. That's it.
Yeah.
It'd heal all. All right.
You can make it fart.
What is the promotional popcorn bucket for demons?
Oh, I would have just the open cavity of the girl's back, and then you have to reach in and grab the popcorn.
That's a good one. That's perfect.
I do just like a open head, the demon head,
Perfect.
Maybe what's our main lady's name with the curly hair?
Cheryl?
Pops is it?
Mhm.
Yeah, her
I
head.
think as a close second, it's not a
Or
popcorn bucket, but
Rosemary.
the drink, like the drink one, could just be the one demon that has the tongue that shoots out 6 feet in front of her face, and that could be
Hmm.
like a bendy straw.
I was going to say, a
Oh,
lot of
that's
people aren't
good.
going to get it, but you could have the drink just be a Coke can. with a little straw.
With a straw.
Uh-huh. All right, great. We definitely want to hear your guys, all of you out there as well. Jump into the Discord. Let us know on socials. You know how to get at us. Let's jump over to our ratings.
I only want your fingers.
Should we all cut our fingers open and bleed on it?
Can you wrap your fingers around this?
I'll take a Voorhees burger and a side of Jason's fingers.
Show them.
It's now time to start nipping at some fingers and growing out some little demon fingers and getting all weird and gross with it as we rate our film on the Chuddle scale. This show, we like to use our subjective ratings of 0 to 5 fingers. Each finger cut off adds to the score. More fingers equaling a higher score. Engaging, sticky, two-shirtable cockles, rewatchable. That's how we do it. With Sam going first, Ross going next, myself cleaning it up. How are we feeling about demons tonight?
Okay. Well, tonight I am feeling about demons engaging. Engaging, I'm actually going to give 0.75 to.
Mm-hmm.
Because as fun as this movie is, there are parts that aren't particularly fun. And they're kind of, I don't know. I just find myself drifting sometimes when I watch this movie.
Yes.
Which will bring it right over to Sticky, which I'm going to give a 0.5 to, because I have watched this movie, I don't know, 4 or 5 times in the last year and a half. And each time I'm like, oh, forgot about that. Maybe it's because there's so much happening.
Yes,
you know
that's
what I mean?
very true.
But 0.5 there. T-shirtable, I'm going to give a 1-2. I'm wearing a Demons shirt now that I got when we saw them. It's also a Goblin tour shirt. It's got all the tour dates on the back. And for the date we saw them, it says Metropole for the venue. Because it was going to be themed like the movie. And the shirt says Metropole, but that was the only difference at the show.
Yeah.
Really hoping for a dirt bike. Cockles, I'm going to give a 1 because, it's gooey as shit and balls to the wall, and just it's just really fun.
Yeah,
it's a fun movie that I like to watch and works the cockles. And rewatchable, I'm going to give a 1-2 as well, kind of for all the reasons I said. For the cockles, it's just a good time, and I really can't think of a time where I wouldn't be in the mood for it, which is just a great sign for a movie.
Yeah.
So that gives it a 4.25 out of 5 for me. But that's just not right. Not with our experience together and just how I feel about this movie.
Ooh,
so
Phantom Finger?
I'm going to grow a point. I'm going to go 3/4 of a Phantom Finger because I want to knock this movie all the way up to a 5. Because it's a 5 in my heart for
all
the reasons.
Okay.
There you go. A 5 from Sam. That gets us to Rus. Let us know what you got.
All right. Well, engaging's a 1. I'm engaged every time I watch this movie. The amount of gore, the amount of insanity. I mean, even when you get into full throttle clusterfuck, it's fantastic.
It is.
Which leads directly
Full Throttle Clusterfuck. That is a band name.
Full Throttle Clusterfuck. And it is, because it's just pure chaos and just goo and just people mauling each other, which leads directly into Sticky. I was on the fence about like a 1 or like a 0.75. I'm gonna give it the 1 because even the shit I forget, there's 10 times more that I remember. As in, like, there's so much stuff going on in this. If I miss 10%, I'm not. That doesn't negate the stickiness for me. T-shirtable is going to be a 1, obviously. We all have Demons shirts.
We do.
Yeah.
You guys got the same one, right?
Yes,
we did.
Yes. It
was very gooey
the
one.
goblin ripping out of the back.
Ripping out with like a jawbone and shit like that. Ooh. So Cockles. Yeah, Cockles gonna get a 1. And also Rewatchable's getting 1. This is just a 5. Okay, this is just going to be a 5. Because I did have different numbers for it, but you're right, because the nostalgia of all of us being there is kind of overridden this. But honestly, my score legitimately was a 4.75. I think the only thing that on my actual script that I knocked down for was engaging, just because it's sometimes so chaotic that like I get disengaged, especially
tune out.
Yeah, well, it's just because you go from like punks to theater to punks to theater, and then things going on in the theater, even when still watching it. Anyways, no, but again, Phantom Finger's going to grow it. It's a 5. It's a 5 for me because like it's so close to a 5, and then having the personal experience of seeing the movie live is just bumps it up for me.
Sure.
Right. Totally.
All right. My turn. Engaging.
Look.
It's going to get a 0.75. I mean, I'm mostly engaged with this movie, but I think there are parts that I lose it a little bit. Especially, I think I watched it more than a few times.
Yeah.
For this viewing, and then past times and everything as well. Sticky, probably about a 0.75 as well. Almost like you said, just because there's so much going on you can maybe forget about some of the things happening.
Yes.
T-shirt ball, give it a 1. Love the t-shirt, have the t-shirt. There's some cool ones out there for sure. I mean, I love just the logo of the movie. I think is really cool in and of itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
Cockles, we'll get the
Like
one.
the font. The demons. Yeah.
And just that
Yellow with the slashes and the wavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Hits the cockles. So I'll give a 1 for cockles as well. Just because, of the fun time of the movie and it warms them, it rocks them, it sucks them off. And rewatchable, I'll give a 0.75. I'd rewatch this most times, but I don't know if I'm throwing it on often after all these watches that we did, but I'd watch it again for sure. So that's a 4.25. Feels good. I didn't realize you guys would be pushing it all the way up to a 5.
But I feel like the 5 is like it's almost like a phantom 5. Like it's definitely, we're all in the same wheelhouse. We're in 4.25, 4.75. You know what I mean? Like we're there.
We're
It's
there.
just, I don't know.
We're there.
Yeah.
The club had some other things to say as well. Well, T-Boo mostly had the stuff to say.
Sure.
Dustin from Flicks and Friends podcast, Baron's Hideout, he just said, ooh. And then T-Boo posted a GIF, and then Trevor posted a GIF of something that says, hey, there's demons. It's me, your boy. Or hey there, demons. It's me, your boy. And then Sergio posted a GIF of an exorcist doing a thing. And then T-Boo finally came in with some scores here. So that's what the demon club talk was looking like this week.
Great.
Engaging 1. We covered this on the nightclub and had a fucking blast. It's a party flick. Watch it with your friends and go ham. Sticky.
Yep.
1. The characters, the setting, the score, the special effects, it all makes for one hell of a ride. And I'll never forget the climax. T-shirtable 1. Tony the Pimp. The Mask. Homie on the dirt bike in the movie theater. And the original poster with the money as the title would all be great shirts. Cockles. 1. This is a fast-paced fun time, and for the reasons I've already mentioned, Cockles depleted. Rewatchable. 1. I find this to be super rewatchable. Maybe even as background noise while you're doing other things. Also a great Halloween movie. 5 out of 5. Feels perfect. And he is breaking into the projection booth at the midnight showing and gonna smash everything now. So that's what he's doing here. Scotty, as mentioned before, said, damn, 5 out of 5 for Demons, but 2.5 for The Exorcist. Crazy, but this is why I love hearing other opinions. And that's pretty much where the conversation went with Demoni here. So thank you so much for T-Boo for chiming in and everyone just kind of hanging out in there and jumping in our Discord. Please
check out the Nightclub podcast. Listen to the Nightclub podcast.
Always jump into our Discord and continue the conversation with these movies as well. So with our average for this one, in terms of other things, let's go ahead and look at that right now.
It'll be high. It would have been certified anyway, because we're all over 5. Or not certified. What's the other one? Chuddle Club Crypt.
That's it.
There
all
we
in
go.
the Chuddle Club Crypt. 4.8. And I was wondering how long I was going to let it go. And I'm going to do it now and give it the phantom fingers and bump it up to the 5 to get
son of a bitch.
And just might as well give it there. I mean, it's a fun movie and it rocks our cockles here. And I think that's what rules
And I
with
think
Demons
it's like
for this
special.
one.
It's special to us. I feel like it deserves to be certified.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that gets it as a certified Chuddle. And if you don't know or haven't heard before, that sits it among some very good company. And our last certified Chuddle was actually Midsommar. So that was the last one that we put into here. Before that, we had the...
we can be smart too.
I know.
Well, smart hair.
This is why I love the certified Chuddles, because here we go. Demons, Midsommar, Deadstream, The Signal, Barbarian, Pussycake, Nightmare on Elm Street, Psycho Goreman, Scream, Treevenge.
It is quite the collection.
Yeah.
It's a fun collection. And you know what else? I'll say it now. We had we had that little contest giveaway thing I did in the Discord, which I just sent out. The winner there. They got a Chuddle the Pod tote bag. And we're going to be doing a few more contests and giveaways, but I grabbed some Blu-rays of things that are certified Chuddles. So that person got A Nightmare on Elm Street in that collection. I pulled some more from here for some future giveaways. So look out for stuff like that on our Instagram, Discord, all the good places for that and everything too.
Very cool.
Fun stuff, guys. That's the end
great.
of that's it. That does us with Dumont.
We did it. It is a certified Chuddle. This fucking guy.
I knew it. I knew it was going to fucking give you guys a little heart palpitation and such. Right. But that concludes our gathering of our movie club meeting for tonight. Thank you guys so much. My co-occupants, Ross and Sam. I always love having you on here and chatting.
Thanks. We always love being had by you on here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Sometimes, Sam doesn't like to come on the show and just it's like, fuck that. But every time
it was like once, right? It was only once.
Ross and I were like, let's have a big Halloween extravaganza show. And Sam's like, fuck you. No. And so that's what happened there. No, go ahead.
Well, it's
Chuddle the Sam, Letterboxd, Chuddle the Brian with a Y on Letterboxd. We're both there. Follow us and look at our stupid movie reviews. Ross Purvis on Instagram. Be like
Boots Riley and follow me.
Yeah, be like Boots Riley and follow Sam on Letterboxd. Follow Ross Purvis on Instagram. See what he's doing art-wise. That includes tattoos and fucking prints and all good shit that you can buy. You just go to his website there.
Yeah, rosspurvis.bigcartel.com.
Buy that shit. Yeah. It's so good. He's a good boy. We love him. Follow all of us at Chuddle the Pod.
Oh, shucks.
You know how to get at us. You know what you're doing. We love you guys so much. We're going to get out of here. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Tell people.
Yeah.
Tell. Do the Chuddle challenge. If you're still listening, go tell someone. Tell someone that doesn't know about Chuddle the Pod to listen to Chuddle the Pod. We love you guys. And until next time, avoid the time loop.